try to translate it.
People
know what they want,
but they also want what they don't know.
But people also want what they don't know of. And I think that explains a lot. I had a little story here about a popular leader, a griot, puppet making master.
Where?
Near Brazil, in Chico. Chico Simões. And he gave me a testimony that is quite interesting. He said, I was afraid of digital technology as a whole, computer, because I thought this would chain me in a consumer society. And I was afraid I didn't want to know about that. But I was wrong. After he became a ponto de cultura, he received the multimedia key, and they went through the workshops, which means learning how to use them for their own purpose, not for ours. Don't teach them what to do with it, we teach them what it is capable of doing, and they can invent it in more ways of what can be done. And then he said, my craft is much more solid now because of the use of the internet. I can stay where I am. I don't have to move so much. I can stay where I am. And I understood that being connected will strengthen my cultural complex environment. Yeah.
Which doesn't mean that he couldn't be against it. No problem. If it comes up that he puts himself against it again for some reason, well, it doesn't matter. It's okay. Like we absorb, we vomit, we process, we vomit, we shit, whatever. We spell out and then we swallow it again. And this is it. This is nature. This is very, very natural. Very natural.
Good morning. So my question is a little bit complex, I think, and it is multifold. Firstly, the Canadian government is on the brink of introducing a Copyright Act that is apparently, we fear, a very close mirror to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act from the USA. Mm-hmm. And the idea behind it is that it is based on corporate pressure. So secondly, the things that we've been talking about today, about sharing information online, the Web 2.0 culture of user-generated content. However, the platforms in which we are generating content on, Flickr is owned by Yahoo. We know that MySpace is also owned by somebody else. We know that open source browser like Firefox has also their developers funded by Google. Are we imagining ourselves having free voices when they are corporates which are working alongside governments in order to own the digital space online? And if this is the case, what kind of advice would you give to the Canadian government about what kinds of laws we should be passing to ensure that people actually have free access and own the information freely?
Perfection, I don't think we're going to achieve. A perfect position by government, even a perfect position by ourselves, and fruitful, perfect dialogue between us and the government. And but anyway, I think that in this specific case of Canada now trying to pass a new law, what I think it's interesting and I think that should be done, should be taken as a position by the Canadian government and by the society, is to engage in a dialogue, the deepest possible, as frankly as possible to know what, what kind of understanding we have about the law. I mean, like for instance, in Brazil, we tried to create an agency 5 years ago when I arrived at the government. We tried to create an agency to regulate the audiovisual sector. And what was wrong about that was that we didn't discuss it previously and deeply enough and extensively enough with the society. We made a proposal, and the society, or at least some sectors, important sectors of the society, rejected it very, violently rejected it. And that gave us an instructional lesson, a very interesting lesson, that whenever we want to do something, to give a contribution in terms of regulation or law, passing project or whatever, we better discuss it before, as broadly and as extensively as deeply as possible. So we did that for the TV public, the public TV in Brazil. We had the idea of having a public TV, new public TV in Brazil, and so we installed a forum, national forum, to discuss the new Brazilian public TV. The forum lasted for 1 year. We had many different meetings. We got like 20,000 different people together in different places, in different occasions, in different categories of social commitment and so and so. And we finally got, a project for the public TV that is agreed upon, has been agreed upon. So the friction, we worked it out in terms of time and possibilities, So the frictional process was smoothly spread over a long period of time, over a long, over a big group of people, over a very representative amount of people representing different points of view and everything. So that's what I think about the law here. I mean, you said what we could say that the Canadian government, to the Canadian government, I would say that, make it a public project, and share it, share it, don't take for granted that you represent and that you know what people want, do whatever it's convenient in democratic and republican terms.
Sorry.
It seems to me that what I've heard several people say here is that there was a reaction, and this has stopped them making the decision, and they had to withdraw. This is what I heard.
As we did in Brazil when the Ancine, the agents, the audio agents, we had to withdraw. We made the proposition, we got the reaction.